Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome to the official second episode of this here. What are we doing, y'all? We're doing the narrator's journal. Now, first up, I want to just really quickly start the episode by showing the point totals currently. There's not really a better way for me to show all of them, unfortunately. I don't really have much of a scroll. There you go. There you go. Now, this is right before the mega. This is the mega merge. This is the mega merge vote. Let's go ahead and start our tier list by getting all our safe people. So that is obviously Lana, who is playing a pretty good game, but people are starting to catch on that she's been talking to a lot of people. But I mean, I don't think it's gonna matter that much. William's been a little bit quieter over the weekend. Then we had first place was Melissa. Congratulations, Melissa. You did very good. Second place was Billy. Where's he at? Then we had Tammy, who got third. Then we had... Who got fourth? I know Raquel got fifth, so I'll put her up there. And then Mitchell had fourth. Mitchell, I think, needed this. I think he was potentially in the hot seat tonight. People who are not in the hot seat, though, unfortunately, Jennifer, Ruben, Lydia, they are dead. I think Melissa would have been fine. I think Billy, some people are saving to kill in Hunger Games. I'm happy to see Tammy. I think she would have been fine. Mitchell, I think, could have potentially been in trouble. And Raquel, I think, it would have been all right tonight. Quick context of the game. Quiet night. Nobody really wanted to throw out any names, it seemed like, until we had immunity. But now the game is starting to move. There has been, quote-unquote, a big-ass chat made with group members Tammy, Shane, Henry, Dominic, Luis, Paul, Allie, Belinda, Melissa, and Raquel. That's like, I want to say 14-ish people, 9 people, something like that. I don't know. Don't ask me to math. I didn't count it when I was doing it. And they're trying to seem to find a group of people that they want to take out outside of themselves. Meanwhile, a lot of the other side are potentially thinking about taking out Shane. So right now, I don't know necessarily what's going to happen. There's still a lot of time, but let's start off with Shane. I think Shane is the most likely candidate to go from the other side. He's done a lot to annoy other people on his other side, but I think that has made him someone that people like on his side. He also is potentially wanting to just run away in the Hunger Games, which is kind of sad, to be honest, but it's a strategy that will not pay off for him. I can guarantee you that, Shane. I can guarantee you that. Oh, yeah, it's May 23rd when I'm recording this. Yeah, that's it. Shane, hopefully you get through the night. I think you will, because I think your side of the alliance is probably going to get what they want in terms of whoever they choose to target, but I think Shane's fine. Let's start with Rayanne. I think Rayanne is not going to be inside that group. I think she's viewed as somewhat active, decently active. I think she's going to be fine, though, even though she's outside of the group. I just think people like Rayanne. I think she's not seen as much of a threat. She's just seen as someone that's connected, which is why she's kind of left out of things, but I don't see her being targeted. Quentin is someone who I see is kind of on the same exact boat as Rayanne. Quentin, I think, is a little bit more connected. He started to get his groove going. I don't necessarily see him being the target of a vote. I mean, it's possible. I could see it happening to Quentin, but I don't know. Chadwick, I think, is in a good spot because Chadwick, a lot of people just don't know his connections, etc. So I think that's helped him. I think a lot of people are starting to talk decently of Chadwick, or I at least feel like there's a workable relationship in the future with Chadwick, which is big. Lizzie, I think, is also in a pretty good spot. Lizzie's not in that big alliance chat, but that big alliance chat seems to want to work with Lizzie to a certain extent. Lizzie's not really in any of the rooms where the decisions are being made, but people that like her are, which is just as good. Destiny has an idol. She's getting through tonight, unless she doesn't play it for herself for some reason. Which is why I'm not playing her at S tier, but she's basically S tier. Nicole, I think, could be in trouble of getting targeted tonight because, again, I don't know if it's strategy or if they actually think that Nicole was at Michigan Mole, and that's why they're spreading that. But Nicole is being paired with Michigan Mole more so than Missy almost is to a certain extent. It's like people think it's for, but the person that they forget, if they don't think it's for, is Missy for some reason. Then they think it's Nicole. which Luis is kind of had his eyes on Nicole. She seems to be paired with Mitchell, and Mitchell's safe tonight, so I don't know. I could see it not going great in her direction. Henry, I think, will be fine tonight. He's in the right rooms. I kind of feel the same way about Dominic. I feel like both of these two are going to get fine into Hunger Games. I don't feel like they've done anything crazy to set themselves off, but I don't think they're, anyway, holding themselves back. Shanika, I think, is someone that people want to work with and are hoping that the board will reshuffle. I still think Shanika's playing a pretty good game, even though she's not inside that big chat that may or may not control the vote tonight. I think she is not going to be on the receiving end of votes tonight. Belinda, I feel about the same way. People at this point think Belinda is not going to do great in Hunger Games, or she's easy picking in another format. So I think people don't really want to take Belinda out. And honestly, that is kind of makes me want to put her in A tier because I feel very confident that Belinda's going to get through the night. And I think, honestly, Belinda will probably be able to find herself an alliance in Hunger Games because I think people will think she's still easy to beat, which is kind of what she wants. Missy is not as active with the other side as she needs to be, and she's also being targeted. The same reason as pretty much all the Michigan Mole people. I could see them pushing votes for Missy because I don't think Missy's being as social as she needs to be honest. I think Allie's going to be fine. I think she's in the rooms that people aren't really people aren't targeting Allie this vote. Like, people just kind of acknowledge that she exists, it seems. She's in the big ass chat, which is great. Sarah, I think, could go. Sarah's thrown some names out of people that are in the big ass chat, and they've already talked about it. They've also talked about wanting to work with Lizzie, which means not necessarily wanting to work with Sarah. So that's bad news for Sarah right now. And Sarah also hasn't been that active over the weekend. Stephanie, I think, is going to do the best of the people who are being targeted for the Michigan Mole experience, except for Destiny because she has the idol. I think people like Stephanie. They see a potential with Stephanie, so there's hope. Paul, I think, is going to be fine tonight. No one's really targeting Paul. Paul is in the right rooms. I mean, Sarah threw his name out, was shut down immediately, and now could come back to blow Sarah in the face. But I think he'll be fine. Luis, I feel like he's going to do all right. People don't seem to care about his relationship with Raquel right now. It's too kind of big of a field. And that's kind of it. I'm kind of keeping it brief for this pre-vote one. We'll talk more so. Because this is honestly, you guys, this vote is such a clusterfuck that it's like anything could really happen. So I don't really want to waste a bunch of time going through into strategy. I'd rather just kind of do this part one. We see who goes home, talk about it in part two of this episode, and then go into the deep dives of the Hunger Games strategy that's going to be starting. Because we're not going to do a lot. I'm not really going to do these during Hunger Games because there's not time. So it's going to kind of be like, you know, what we do on the page, and then we'll have like my narrator's journal of the pre-Hunger Games. That's what's going to be most of this episode, where we'll go in deep. I'm going to try to use Milano on that, so we'll see. Anyways, I feel like Luis would be kind of fine tonight. There's a chance that people could push for him, but I think that side's targeting Shane over Luis. And last is Max. I think Max is fine. I don't think people are going to target Max. I don't think he's necessarily playing amazing. Actually, I'm going to put him in C tier. We'll move Luis up. Actually, no. I think we moved Dominic up. He's playing a little bit more under the radar. Yeah, this is I think this is where everybody's standing right now in terms of positions in the game. I think there's no way Destiny or Belinda are going home tonight. I think it's very unlikely Chadwick, Lizzie, Shanika, Allie, Paul, or Dom go. I think it's pretty likely that Max, Rayan, Quentin, Henry, Stephanie, and Luis will be fine. My eyes are on Shane, Nicole, Missy, and Sarah. That's where my eyes are currently. So I guess we'll see what will happen, and I will see you guys after this vote. When we get through the Survivor format, we can get into the Hunger Games. Oh, the goodies, the goodies.